President Moon Jae-in has called on Japan to end what he called its politically motivated export curbs. Meeting with around 30 Korean business leaders today, he said the government is doing its best to settle the issue diplomatically, but he also called for new measures to make South Korea more self-sufficient. Kim Mok-yeon reports.
President Moon Jae-in held his first face-to-face meeting with the heads of 34 local business conglomerates since Japan announced new export curbs targeting South Korea earlier this month. The president's stance on resolving the issue remains unchanged.
무엇보다 정부는 외교적 해결을 위해 최선을 다하고 있습니다. 일본 정부도 화답해 주기를 바랍니다. 더 이상 막다른 길로만 가지 않기를 바랍니다.
The president added that such a move is never desirable, given the two countries' long-established ties in security cooperation, and said that it will only serve to harm both economies. The president at the same time acknowledged the possibility that the situation could extend into the long term and called for necessary preparations. That includes a public-private emergency response system that would allow the government and businesses to better coordinate their actions. The president also proposed measures to make South Korea more self-sufficient and less reliant on high-technology imports.
근본적인 대책으로는 우리 주력 산업의 핵심 기술, 핵심 부품, 소재, 장비의 국산화 비율을 획기적으로 높여 해외 의존도를 낮추는 계기로 삼아야 할 것입니다.
As for short-term measures, the president promised to provide more support to expand domestic production of the restricted items and diversify their sources to help minimize damages to local firms. The president added that the budget necessary to fund R&D efforts will be reflected in the government's extra budget bill at the National Assembly. In regards to Tokyo's allegations that its hydrogen fluoride exports to South Korea had made its way illegally into North Korea, the president said the suspicions are groundless and said Japan should refrain from making further claims. Kim Mok-yeon, Arirang News.